Howdy folks, Kerbo here. Welcome to Way of the Hunter. This is a beautiful game, and it's a fairly good hunting game as well. It's trying to be a little more realistic than, like, say, Call of the Wild. I would compare it to the Hunter Classic, for those of you that have played that. But it's got the gorgeous graphics. It's got pretty good animal behavior, and it's got the idea of herd management. Each male has, like, DNA potential. And it's just general all-around pretty good hunting game. There are some issues and bugs you're working through. There's a few little things I don't like about it. The ballistics are not anywhere close to real life. Stuff like that. But overall, I've been having a great time. Some of you may have seen my live stream archives. I've been streaming this over on Twitch. But I thought I would go ahead and make a video so you can get the full 1440p glory that is this game. So we're going to do a little hunting today. And I just bought the 223. I think I'm going to go shuffle my guns around a little bit. We're here at the main lodge. Let's go in and get that set up. I think I'll take the 223 and probably the 7mm out. And we'll see if we can find some fox or some whitetail or mule deer. Something like that. So let's get rid of you. And we're going to take the... nope, not that one. This one. Take this guy out. So I've got that, and I'm using the same scope on the gun. I guess you get multiple once you buy it. So I've got the 7mm, good overall deer rifle, whitetail or mule deer. And I just bought this, haven't even fired it yet. Good for foxes, badgers, maybe wolves, stuff like that. So it is afternoon, not the best time, but I'm going to go ahead and fast travel down to, is it here? No, it's down to this camp. I saw a monster whitetail down here. I don't know if we'll be able to find him again, but let's fast travel down to this campsite. I'm probably going to fall through the ground. That's been happening. No, we're good. Okay. There's a few bugs. They're working on them. Well, that sounds like a wolf. So we're here at this campsite. I want to head off in that direction. And I'll see what I can find. If we zoom in on the map here, you can see it kind of shows you 3D. I need to go a couple ridges over, probably, to get over to where I saw the whitetail. So I'm just going to walk along here, and I'll bring you back in when something happens. See you in a bit. I've made it up here to the top of the first ridge. And I was just going to take a look around. So we've got our rangefinders here. Gives us a nice range. Now you can tailor this experience however you want. I'm playing on Ranger difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty level. And no HUD elements. But you can set it up as easy or as hard as you like. On Ranger difficulty, the hunter sense is completely disabled. That's the helper that shows you everything on the screen. Like if you hear an animal call, it'll show up on the screen. Stuff like that. Tracks will glow. I've got all that turned off on Ranger difficulty, and then I've got no HUD elements up. Super immersive, that's the way I like to play. And tracking becomes a challenge then. It's not, you know, super hard, but just makes it more interesting for me. No wrong way to play this game, or right way. And I'm not seeing any animal movement. And that's not too unusual. There's not just animals all over the place. You have to kind of find them. Now I know there's need zones over here, so if I found one resting spot, and this is near where I saw a monster whitetail. He ran off. I'm not sure where he went, but he's hopefully somewhere in this area. So I'm going to keep heading that way. I'm going to carefully make my way down here. There is fall damage. Just going to keep moving, and we'll see what I can find. I've taken a knee here. I could hear brush crunching noises up in here. I think I spooked something. I was walking. I think maybe I spooked some deer. And you can hear them crashing through the trees when they run away. Now, that's cool. Unfortunately, if they're running across a meadow with no trees, they also make a tree crashing sound. So that's another bug they need to get fixed. And I've been keeping an eye out for game trails. Something to do pretty well in this game is having the game trails where the animals move. That can give you an idea of what kind and how many animals are in the area. So there's a lot of pros and cons to this. I'll try to talk a little bit about each. One thing I don't like is, as far as I can tell, the animals don't leave tracks. If you see an animal running away or something, you can't actually track them by their tracks. You will find tracks along the game trails, and that kind of tells you how many and maybe how often they come along. I think this is actually a game trail right here. Yeah, here we go. So these are tracks you can find in game. So you can see there we've got some deer tracks. So we know there's deer in the area, but that's not left by an actual animal. If an animal walked across here, there would be no tracks, if that makes sense. This is just to kind of give you an indication that they might be in the area, they might use this trail. So I don't know if that'll change in the future, but that was a little bit of a disappointment to me. But overall, I've been having a blast with this. It's a lot of fun, especially with no HUD and hard difficulty. Makes it a challenge. Now, I have hunted in real life. I don't hunt anymore. It's been a long time since I went hunting, other than a couple deer hunting trips a few years back. But I'm not like a pro hunter at all. Just a Missouri country boy who grew up hunting. A lot more rabbits and squirrels and quail and pheasant than deer. None of the bigger game. Don't have those in Missouri. At least when I was a kid. Although elk are starting to make a comeback in Missouri. They actually had our first elk season. It was maybe 2 years ago. So in some parts of the state, you can actually hunt elk. But I've been walking here, haven't found anything yet. There are whitetail in the area. I've seen the signs. I think I spooked some heading this way. Now with no HUD, the only way I can get an indication of the wind, because there doesn't seem to be any way in game to tell, but if I look at my map, just make out a little purple smudge there. That's my scent blowing that direction. So I know the wind's coming out of the south over here. So that's a way to tell. If it's calm, you won't get a plume. I think this is a game trail. I'm going to follow this up to the top. A lot of times these will go to need zones. If we can find where they've been feeding or where they've bedded down. So we'll take a look. I think I'm going to slow back down. Don't want to spook them. So here we can see the grass has been kind of cropped. And if I get close enough... So they eat here rarely. But it is a spot they have eaten. And that almost sounded like a deer blowing. I forgot my 7mm on number 1. Here we go. I'm going to zoom that scope back out, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to have it 0 for 100. The only way I can tell with no HUD is counting key presses. Hopefully they'll give us the option of turning that on. It would be handy to be able to see your 0. Or better yet, let us see on the knob and have that make sense. Part of that same need zone. So I'm going to creep up to the top of the hill here. I can even slow down even more. And we'll just kind of see what we got up here. Now my scent is blowing to the right. Wind's going from left to right. So let's just take a look. It's all about being patient Looking and listening. You want a lot of fast-paced arcade hunting action. The Hunter Call of the Wild is more your type of game. I've played it a decent amount, probably a couple hundred hours. You just want to get in and get a quick fix, shoot lots of stuff. It's a great game for that. It's nice to have a realistic, or at least more realistic hunting game with modern graphics. I've got everything turned all the way up. The only thing I've got turned down is post-processing, because it can be a little weird sometimes, so I've got that set to low. Everything else is turned up as far as it'll go. I'm not hearing anything else up here, so I'm going to continue sneaking around. I won't make you sit through an hour of me looking for deer. And I'll bring you back in for a closer look if we find something. Well, I finally spotted some deer. I thought they might be headed this way. And there's at least one buck there, a couple doe. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on them. They are headed this way. Wind's still good. So I think they've come out of their beds over there somewhere, and they're heading over here, possibly to this eating zone. I'm not sure where exactly they're headed, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop a marker there. Now, in other modes, that would show up on your screen. Since I have HUD disabled, it only shows up on the map, which I like. It's kind of like making a GPS pin on your phone or something. Now, he's got a decent looking rack. Let's take a look with our big scope. Zoom right in. Yeah, we can start to see his rack. Looking pretty decent. That guy back there, though, has got an even better rack. So I'm going to go ahead and prone here. And they're just headed this way, so I'm going to let them get a little closer. Grab a screenshot of that fella. And I'll just let them come on in. See if I can't get a shot. Might be tricky shooting downhill. I'm wondering if I could move up a bit without spooking them. They may be coming to pretty much right here where I'm at. So I'm going to move over here in this tree line and let them get a little closer. And hope they continue on up to my ridge here. On this hardest difficulty, they're pretty aware. So got to be careful. I'm gonna go up here maybe by this rock. I don't know if I'll even be able to see him from here. So yeah, I'm pretty much looking where they were coming. But they're down in the trees now. So what I'm hoping is they come up here and I get a nice look at them and a good shot. That tree growing right through the rock. I demand a refund. So yeah, they were coming right down through there. So now we wait. There's a lot of waiting in hunting. A lot of waiting. I've moved over here. As far as I can tell, they're still up there grazing where they were. I don't know if it'll come through on the audio. I can hear the does calling. So they're over there talking. I think they're still over there on their hill eating. So I'm just trying to work my way around. I don't know if I'll be able to get over there or not without spooking them. I put that marker down approximately where they were at. It's not exact. I'm going to work my way down through this draw up on that hill and see if I can get there without spooking them. So I'm 80 meters from there. I might be able to call a doe over, if nothing else. That would help level up my call. There's a perk system in the game. In fact, let me just pause that real quick. If I go to character, perks, I'm working on, is it this one? No. This one. Yeah. So if I get 3 more called animals harvested, then I'll unlock second level calls. So right now I can basically just call in females. I've got a deer caller and a moose call. It only works for females. Once I get that perk unlocked, I can toggle between which of the 2 calls I want. And then a lot of the calls have a third call as well. So basically it goes, level 1 is females, level 2 is like low tier males, and then level 3 is high tier males. But sometimes you want to call in the low tier males to thin your herd out. You want the deer with good genetics to be repopulating the herd. Get the dodgy ones cleared out. I'm going to slow way down here. And I'm actually going to pull my gun out. Pull the zoom back so we're ready to go. I'm going to set that for 100 meters and hope for the best. I haven't heard them call for a little while. Oh, there I just heard a call. Sounded like it was up this way, maybe? Yeah, the wind's right in my face, so that's good. But if they're right up here, might be right on top of them before I can even get a shot. But that's the way it goes. You're not guaranteed anything just because you're hunting. Go nice and easy. So if we look here, I'm coming up this ridge. They were right over there feeding before. I don't know which direction they went. They didn't seem to be coming towards me like they were at first. Now, are they still over here? That's the question. Alright, so here's the trail. And they were right down over that lip. Just hope I'm not too close. In fact, I'm going to go prone. Get down in the dirt. Let's see what we got. Probably nothing over here. They probably moved on. There's no free look. I wish there was a free look in the game. Just have to turn. Alright, now if I pop up. Not seeing any deer. So yeah, they were right down there when I saw them. This is a variable zoom scope, which is handy. It'll zoom right in. So unfortunately, there's no deer here. Where did they go? I don't see any flicking tails or anything. So this might have been a bust. They were here. Somewhere over here. I don't know about the exact placement of that marker. And I could hear them up here earlier, but I don't hear anything now. I don't see him down there. Maybe I should switch back to binoculars. If I stand up, I might jump them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because then you know where they are. Just depends on how far they run. Are they right down here? I don't see them. Did they sneak over there while I wasn't looking? The trail there. Alright, well, I'll scout around and see if we find... I can hear them off over there somewhere. Hard to tell exactly where. Yeah, I definitely hear the does. Oh wait, is that a tree? Yeah, it's a stump. Sometimes the bushes and things look like deer in the distance. I can hear the doe talking, so I'm going to hang here for a bit and we'll see what happens. I think we got some wolves down here. Dang wolf right there. I've got my 223. Maybe we'll do a wolf hunt instead. There go the deer. That one moving slow was the wounded one. Let's see if we can pick up the blood trail. I kept hearing the deer. I was working my way down, so I was up here. I've worked my way down. I kept hearing the deer off in the distance. I think they might have been down over that side of the hill. Kept calling, was just working my way down slow, and then I heard the wolves, and that's when I brought you guys back in. And we should have a wolf up here. Yeah, right there. Just saw him die. I think that's the same wolf. Yeah, right there. I'm hoping the follow-up shot was to the same wolf. Let's go take a look. Yeah, unfortunately the deer ran away, but you know. Deer is actually right down there. Reset my exploration marker to where the deer is. So I should have, yeah, I've got a marker there, then that's where the deer is. They ran down that way. There's wolf right on the trail. Let's see if that wolf has 2 bullet holes in it. If it does, then that's our wolf. If not, we need to go find where we hit the other one. It was walking slow, though, like it was wounded. Let's see how the 223 did. It's the first time I've used it. Let's see, I want this. Get a little picture here. This is the first wolf I've seen and taken in the game. Photo mode is awesome. I love photo mode. Get some good photos. He is right in the trees, isn't he? There we go. Big bad wolf. Yeah, that was our wolf. All right, cool. So that first shot, 152 meters. Probably would have done the deed, but we did the follow-up shot just to make sure. So if you haven't seen the bullet cam in this game, it's pretty cool. We had 1382 joules of energy, and then we hit him in the side there, sneak past the ribs. Unfortunately, we were below the recommended energy by the time we got to the lungs. You can see here we have penetration damage. And we have cavity damage, so it actually models the cavitation of the bullet as it travels through and expands out and causes trauma. So it actually went not quite all the way through him. Looks like it stopped right behind the shoulder there. Follow-up shot, not so great. Not so great at all. Just kind of nicked him. Nicked him in the flesh, but he was already bleeding pretty good through the bones. So we do overview. He's a young... Oh, it's a young lady. Oh, well. Hunt rating is, because I shot him twice, is 4 out of 5 stars. Ran 100 meters. So we get 68 coins. Everything is by meat. So you can see the animal weight was 18.88 kilograms. That's the meat weight, not the whole animal. We lost 3.87 due to the shots. And we get paid $4.50 per kilogram. There we go. And we unlocked an encyclopedia on that. So I'm going to work my way down to where I saw those deer. And this might be a slightly longer video. Well, folks, I worked my way down to below where I saw the deer go. No sign of them, so I'm not sure where they got off to. It's about time for them to bed down, so they're probably heading for a bedding area that I don't have marked. But I don't see them anywhere. I'm not sure where they went, so I think we'll call that a video. We stalked some deer and we found some wolves. You know, that's sometimes how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.